Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. Today's video we're going to be making 3 easy sides that will go all together, or you can make them separately throughout the week. The first thing we're going to be making is Parmesan garlic roasted carrots. These are the last of the carrots left over from my carrot cake that I made about 2 weeks ago. I wanted to use them up before they went bad, so I decided to make this dish. So you're going to start off with peeling your carrots, washing them off really well when you're done, and then you're going to cut the ends off of them. This dish comes together pretty easy. The longest thing that takes time is cutting the carrots, but even then it didn't take too long, about 5 minutes. So I'm cutting the ends off here, and then I'm going to start cutting my carrots in a diagonal direction. That way they'll cook more evenly and not take a long time. Also, I'm making sure I'm not cutting the slices super thick, because the thicker your carrots are, the longer it's going to take for them to cook. My oven is preheated to 450 degrees. And after I cut my carrots, I poured some vegetable oil. This is a stick of unsalted butter. You got about a tablespoon of minced garlic, some Italian seasoning, salt and pepper, Parmesan cheese, and some fresh parsley. I also added some garlic powder. Now the fresh parsley is to sprinkle on top of your carrots once they come out of the oven. I lined a baking dish with aluminum foil for easy cleanup, because when everything starts to bake, the cheese and everything is gonna get stuck on, and I wanted something to be easy to just peel off and throw in the trash, and I'm glad I chose that option. It didn't take me long to clean up the baking dish at all when I was done. So when you finish adding in your ingredients, you're going to mix this all really well, and you're going to make sure you want to spread them out evenly as you can on your lined baking pan. That way it doesn't take long for them to cook. And it took about, I'd say, 30 minutes total for this dish to get finished, and it was super good. So if you're wanting to try a different spin on just the regular steamed carrots, I would highly suggest you give this a try. So after I took it out of the oven, this is what it looks like. And then, as I mentioned before, the fresh parsley is to sprinkle on top, and this dish was done. So this would go good with mashed potatoes and chicken, or even if you want to do some type of roast, pork chops. It's a side, so it goes with any meat. It would be good. So the next dish we're going to be making is homemade buttermilk biscuits. So in a bowl, you're going to add in 3 cups of all-purpose flour, you're going to need 5 teaspoons of baking powder, and a half teaspoon of baking soda, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, you're also going to need a half cup of unsalted butter that's cold, as well as 1 1/4 cup of cold buttermilk. So I just kept my buttermilk and my butter in the fridge until I was ready to use it. And the reason why you want your butter cold is because it's going to make your biscuits more flakier. So I mixed all my dry ingredients together. Then I'm gonna add in my butter, my half a cup of butter, which is basically a stick of butter, and I just cubed them in pieces, and I'm going to use my hands and mix them. Now if you have, I guess, some type of pastry utensil where you can cut this into your flour, you can, but I find that this is the best way to do it. This is how I always saw my mom and my grandma make their biscuits. They do this part with their hands because you get the best results. Because you want that cold butter to be pretty well mixed into your flour. And then here is your 1 1/4 cup of cold buttermilk. You're going to mix that together, and then you're going to butter your surface and put it down and roll it out. Now the next time I do this, I'm going to roll mine I rolled it thin, and the biscuits came out good, but I would have liked them to rose a little more. I just believe that I rolled them out too thin, so the next time I make these biscuits, I'm gonna make sure I not roll them out as thin. Now you can use a cookie cutter for this next part to cut out your biscuits. I didn't have one, so I just got a cup and floured it and cut out my dough pieces that way. So once you do this part, you're going to spray your baking pan, put them in the oven on 450 and bake for 13 to 15 minutes. Now I brushed the tops of mine with the butter at this part, but you're actually supposed to wait until after they come out of the oven to brush them with butter. I don't like that taste, so I'm glad I did that way. But I will have a recipe link below if you want to make these exact biscuits. And this is how they turned out. They were super good. And now my husband does the homemade mashed potatoes. These are the ingredients you're going to need, and I'll have him talk you through everything he did to make his mashed potatoes. So first off, he started by cooking up his mashed potatoes and draining it, and now he's going to add in the ingredients.
Hello everyone. So at this point, I've already cooked and drained the mashed potatoes, and I'm adding in 1 whole cup of milk. We're going to be using 2 cups of milk, but 1 right now. And then I'm actually just mashing the potatoes. And you're going to keep doing this for a while. And now I'm going to go ahead and go in with about a half a cup of milk. We're using a whole cup, but I'm using half a cup of milk, and then I'm going to go ahead and just mash the potatoes again, and we're just going to work through them and try to get that consistency that we're looking for. And as you notice, I'm just continuing to mash them, and then I'm going in with the rest of that half a cup of milk, and we're just going to continue to mash them and stir, mash and stir. And if you notice, they're looking close to mashed potatoes, not at quite, but this is where we're going. This is what we're looking for. So now I'm going to go ahead and be adding the seasonings. I'm going in with some garlic powder and some pink Himalayan sea salt. And I'm also adding some sour cream and a little bit of mayonnaise. And then we also want to add butter as well. Once the butter is added into the potatoes, it's all about just mixing the ingredients at this point. back to mashing and stirring. And as we continue to do this, you'll notice that the consistency is turning more and more closer to the mashed potato looks. This is the more tedious part, just making sure that you're mashing them and continue to stir them. Again, trying to get that consistency of mashed potatoes. And for me personally, they're starting to look really good. This is a consistency that I'm looking for. So as it's continuing to simmer, I've noticed I've stopped mashing them. I've turned the fire down on the stove, and I'm actually going to go in with some Kinder's the blend seasoning and a little bit of garlic paste. And I mixed it up a little bit and just did my taste test. And from here, the mashed potatoes, they turned out pretty well.
So these mashed potatoes are simple to make, and as I said before, they complement any dish. Y'all, these sides we all cooked on the same night with some chicken, and it was really good. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and let me know in the comments below if you decide to make this for your family. Bye guys.